Welcome to the video on result clauses, which is section 87 from Hansen and Quinn's Greek Unintensive course. In the book, you'll find that on pages 269 to 270. Result clauses are what they imply. They tell you the result of an action. And Greek has two varieties. Both varieties use the conjunction hosta to introduce the clause. With the indicative, what we'll get is something called an actual result clause that will tell you what actually happens or happened after the main clause, resulting from the main clause. And so the default translation will be with the result that she verbs, or with the result that she verbed, or with the result that she will verb, because this is something that the speaker or the writer is really confident happened or happened as a result of the main clause. The negative when you need it is ou, which is something we're pretty used to with indicatives and statements of fact. The other kind of result clause that Greek can do is called a natural result clause. And with that, you'll use the same conjunction, hosta, and the infinitive. And there, the default translation is so as to verb, which is really clunky English, but it's going to help us see how to use the cases to make this clause. The implication of a natural result clause is we don't know what actually happened or will happen, but the things going on in the main clause are such that this is what you would expect to happen. This would be the natural result of what happens in the main clause. So as to verb is really clunky English, but it does express what Greek is trying to get across, and it helps a little bit in this construction so as for a noun to verb, because as you can see, with an infinitive, we're going to need to say who's doing the action of the infinitive, what noun is doing the action of the infinitive. Sometimes it will be clear, but sometimes we'll have to state it, and that noun will have to be in the accusative. And the clunky English so as to verb or so as for a noun to verb lets us see a little more easily that we need an accusative there to be the subject of the verb. The negative of a natural result clause, as we are used to for non-factual statements, is may. So let's see some examples with these constructions, and we'll start with actual results. So here's the formula, and here is an example. Tois theois theusen hostes so theisontai. So you can see there the main clause before the hosta is they sacrifice to the gods. Hostes so theisontai, with a nice indicative verb after the hosta, is going to give us an actual result. What is the result of the fact that they sacrifice to the gods? And Greek's hostes so theisontai then reflects this idea with the result that they will be saved. They sacrifice to the gods with the result that they will be saved. Again, clunky English. Colloquial English probably would say they sacrifice to the gods so that they will be saved. But I'm going to continue to show you the translations and the defaults that are in Hansen and Quinn so that you have an easier time connecting these videos to the book. Here's another example. Ta tu demu eklepsen ekenos horetor hosta u timatai. So you can see the main clause there again before the hosta. That public speaker, that orator, stole the things of the people, ta tu demu. And what's the result? Hosta. Ooh, we're going to find out what happened. And the result is that he is not honored, with the result that he is not honored. So a couple of pretty simple, straightforward, actual result clauses. Let's go ahead and go on to the other kind, which are natural result clauses, where we'll have hosta again, which will signal you that you're looking at a result clause, but this time with the infinitive as the verb of the clause. So here's an example. Thuusen hosta so thenai hupa ton theon. Our main clause is they sacrifice. Ooh, but here we have a hosta. What is the natural outcome, perhaps, of that thuusen? so as to be saved by the gods. They sacrifice so as to be saved by the gods. It tells you what the speaker or the writer expects will be the result of that sacrifice. So that's a pretty common thing to see in Greek. We do it in English a lot as well. Let's look at another example, even more common. Huto kalos agrapsen ha homeros, hosta timethenai. Homer wrote so well, and let's see what the default translation is for the hosta. He wrote so well, so as to be honored. That's how well it was. We don't know if he was honored or not, but that's how well he wrote, that this is what we would expect the natural result of that quality of writing would be. I'm sure you can see that this is something we express in English in a less clunky way than so as to be honored. We could also say, Homer wrote so well that he is honored. And English will even very often do, Homer wrote so well, he is honored. And we in English will understand in either of those cases that what we're talking about is the result that you might expect, the natural result that you would expect naturally from the quality of his writing. If you haven't guessed already, this natural result clause in Greek is really the way that Greek does yo mama jokes. A clause with huto or hutos, so well, so something, plus hosta, our result clause conjunction, plus an infinitive, our natural result clause verb, is a yo mama joke construction in Greek. And it works beautifully, so that you could say something is so something that it verbs, which is the way that English constructs a yo mama joke. So let's look at an example in Greek. Hutos aiskra he meter su, hosta lithon ten medusan poien. Or in English, your mama is so ugly, hutos aiskra. How ugly is she? Hosta lithon ten medusan poien. That she turns Medusa to stone. It's not a great joke, but it mostly uses vocabulary that you know, and it shows you how Greek natural result clauses can be used to do yo mama jokes, and also really how a natural result clause works. So I hope that you have enjoyed this little introduction to result clauses and that you have fun coming up with your own Greek yo mama jokes.